When impossible becomes I'm possible, the transformative power of belief. Have you ever looked at a mountain in your life and thought, there's absolutely no way I'm getting over that? I have. We all have. That moment when change feels so impossible that even the word itself seems to mock us. I'm possible. See what happens when you put a little space in there? Recently, I had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Victoria Latasha, a visionary whose work has profoundly transformed countless lives across North America. Her insights into human potential aren't just inspirational, they're revolutionary. Victoria has dedicated her life to helping people, particularly Black women, break through barriers that once seemed impenetrable. Her methodologies have created ripple effects of transformation that have touched thousands of lives, and today I'm honored to share the wisdom she imparted to me. What Victoria taught me is that the journey from impossible to I'm possible isn't just clever wordplay, it's the exact space where miracles happen. It's where women who've been carrying the weight of the world finally put down their superhero capes. It's where the exhausted high achiever finally gives herself permission to rest without explanation. This is especially true for Black women between 38 55 who've spent years in survival mode, leading teams, raising families, holding down households, carrying communities. The ones who are now exhausted and ready to shift from constantly grinding to finally grounding. Victoria Latasha's insights revealed three powerful truths that I want to explore with you today. First, change is possible even when it feels impossible. Second, mindset shifts lead to life shifts. And third, faith and community fuel lasting transformation. Let's start with that first truth. Change is possible even when it feels impossible. You know what's fascinating about impossibility? It's rarely about capability, it's about belief. When we say something is impossible, what we're really saying is, I don't believe I can do this. And that belief or lack thereof becomes a self fulfilling prophecy. Victoria Marshman, an entrepreneur and founder of the Unstoppably You women's community, discovered this firsthand. When I spoke with Victoria Latasha about Marshman's work, I learned how she faced the immense challenge of empowering women who felt completely stuck in their professional and personal lives. These women weren't lacking talent or potential, they were lacking belief. They were trapped by limiting thoughts and life obstacles that seemed insurmountable. One woman in her community had dreamed of starting her own business for 15 years, but had convinced herself that people like her didn't become successful entrepreneurs. Another had the skills to lead, but had been passed over so many times that she stopped raising her hand. Through coaching programs focused on mindset shifts and building confidence, Marshman encouraged these women not just to dream, but to take actionable steps toward those dreams. The results? Breakthrough after breakthrough in both career advancement and personal healing. What's particularly powerful about Marshman's approach is that she speaks from experience. Having navigated her own moments of doubt while building Maven Shea, a successful Airbnb venture, she used her story as living proof that mindset changes lead directly to life changes. Today, hundreds of Black professional women share resources daily in her thriving online network. Why? Because they've seen firsthand that transformation is possible through belief and action. This brings me to our second truth. Mindset shifts lead to life shifts. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Another talk about positive thinking, please. But this isn't about slapping a smiley face sticker over your problems. This is about the neurological, psychological, and practical reality that how you think determines how you live. Victoria Clooney's work as a business growth coach powerfully illustrates this principle. Many of her clients come from marginalized backgrounds with limited access to capital or mentorship opportunities. On paper, their odds of success look slim, but Clooney doesn't see odds. She sees opportunities through tailored coaching sessions focusing on financial literacy alongside practical strategies for scaling businesses sustainably. She helps entrepreneurs break through barriers holding them back from success. I remember Victoria Latasha telling me about one of Clooney's clients, a single mother who had been working 3 jobs just to make ends meet. This woman had a brilliant idea for a service business, but was convinced that she lacked the resources to make it happen. After 6 months of working with Clooney, not only had she launched her business, but she had also secured enough clients to quit 2 of her jobs. What changed? Not her circumstances initially, her mindset did. The outcomes speak for themselves. Clients have launched new ventures, including real estate investments, and secured financial freedom they once thought unattainable. Some have paid off debt completely, others have bought their first homes outright. What changed? Their circumstances didn't magically transform overnight. Their mindsets did. And when their mindsets shifted, their actions followed. When their actions changed, their results changed. With over 20 years' experience herself overcoming industry bias as a woman of color in real estate investing circles, Clooney models resilience every day for her clients. Her legacy grows with each client. She helps transition from surviving financially to thriving confidently. This is what Victoria Latasha emphasized in our conversation, that the journey of recovery and growth isn't overnight. It's about shifting your mindset from hopelessness or self doubt to hope and possibility. When you decide that you deserve better and act on it, everything else begins to align. But here's where it gets really interesting. Our third truth: faith and community fuel lasting transformation. Individual effort matters, mindset matters, but transformation that lasts, that requires something more. It requires trust in something bigger than yourself, whether it's God, community support, or a sense of purpose. And it requires people who uplift you and resources that help keep your faith strong. Victoria Edwards, co founder and CEO at Phytotech, embodies this principle beautifully. Her company is revolutionizing water management using AI, but her path was anything but smooth. Edwards entered an industry dominated by established players, skeptical about tech driven disruption led by women and minorities. She faced technical hurdles addressing water waste globally during drought crises. By conventional wisdom, the odds were stacked against her. But Edwards didn't rely solely on her own strength. She mobilized diverse teams around a shared mission she called creating unreasonable communities. She leveraged data transparency tools and persisted despite skepticism. The result? Phytotech secured major funding rounds, gained coverage in the Financial Times, was featured internationally by the BBC and Forbes, and helped shift public policy conversations around water equity. Coming from an underrepresented background herself, Edwards built Phytotech into an international movement despite initial doubts, proving that bold vision plus relentless action equals impact. What's remarkable about Edwards' story is how she inspired other minority founders globally, showing how even massive systems can be changed when leaders refuse defeat. Her faith in possibility and the community she built around that faith created transformation far beyond what she could have accomplished alone. This is the essence of what Victoria Latasha shared with me, that trusting in something bigger than yourself is vital for lasting change. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift you and leaning into resources that help keep your faith strong makes all the difference. Now, I wanted to pause here and acknowledge something important. For many Black women, particularly those between 38 and 55, this message hits differently. You've been in survival mode for so long. You've led teams, raised families, held down households, carried communities, and now you're exhausted. The transformation we're talking about isn't just about achieving more or doing more. Sometimes it's about doing less. It's about shifting from constantly grinding to finally grounding in joy, peace, softness, and self prioritization. This is what the soft girl era is truly about. Not a trend, but a spiritual, emotional, and mental recalibration. It's about healing from trauma, dropping the superwoman cape, learning to say no without guilt, embracing self love and authenticity, and for many, finding faith as a foundation. Victoria Latasha's insights remind us that softness is not weakness, it's a radical act of self love. That saying no can be done with warmth and confidence. That reclaiming your identity, not the version shaped by family expectations, church roles, or boardroom rules, but the real you that's been waiting to bloom, is part of the transformation journey. So, where do we go from here? What's the actionable takeaway? I want you to do something that might feel uncomfortable. Right now, in this moment, I want you to identify the mountain in your life that feels impossible to climb. That thing you've convinced yourself you can't do, can't overcome, can't change. Got it? Now I want you to put a space in that word. Impossible becomes I'm possible. This isn't just a mental exercise. This is the beginning of your transformation. Because when you start to believe, even just a little, that change is possible, you open the door to actions that can make it real. Victoria Marshman believed she could build a community where women lift each other up. Victoria Clooney believed her clients could achieve financial freedom despite systemic barriers. Victoria Edwards believed she could revolutionize an entire industry against all odds. And they were right. So, what if you're right too? What if the change you've been longing for is possible? What if the transformation you've been praying for is just one mindset shift away? Here's my challenge to you: take one step today, just one. Reach out to someone who can support you, or write down what better looks like. Research one resource that might help. Make one decision that aligns with the future you want, not the limitations you've accepted. Because the truth is, the mountain in front of you is never as high as the strength within you, especially when that strength is multiplied by faith and community. The journey from impossible to I'm possible doesn't require you to see the entire path. It just requires you to take the first step, believing that the next one will appear. And it will. I believe in you. Victoria Latasha believes in you. And somewhere deep down, beneath the doubt and the fear, you believe in you too. It's time to put a space in your impossible. The world is waiting for what happens next.